It's football season, and you can now get almost anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a running back delivered, but you can get baby back ribs delivered. A strong defense? No. A strong deodorant? Yes. The six-pack of abs? Nope. Six-pack of beer? Yes. Get almost anything for game day delivered with Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Alcohol 21 plus and in select cities. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes three-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling four things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.
Walmart Business saves you time, money, and hassle, which means you can focus on what really matters, like putting the money you save back into what you do, spending more time training your team, filling orders, and finding new clients. Anything and everything, right down to, oh, that's the one, choosing the best hold music. Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
Welcome to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy, a literary podcast where we deep dive into the writings of your favorite novels. During this season of Aquarius, we are hosting a book club while we prepare our literary analysis of Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Silver Flames.
This is Jack.
And I'm Amy.
And each week we'll discuss one book from our season of Aquarius book club roster. By using our literary background, we'll provide our flash analysis of each book as well as discuss listener thoughts. This week we're discussing Phantasma by Kaylie Smith.
The views expressed by the hosts are entirely their own and in no way represent the thoughts or intentions of the original author. This podcast is a discussion shared to spark thought and conversation on the characters and themes of this novel. The interpretations presented in this podcast are just a few of many possibilities. Listeners are encouraged to read along and share their own analysis of the text.
Though the hosts speak mostly within the constraints of this book, series spoilers may be discussed with or without warning. Explicit language as well as themes of sex, violence, abuse, depression, self-harm, and death will recur throughout this podcast. Listener discretion is advised. If you're enjoying the podcast, check out our Patreon for more exclusive content. You can find us at patreon.com/booktalkforbooktalk. All right, we are doing a live Patreon recording. Our Patreon live viewers got to hear for the first time our season of Aquarius book club roster. Is there any feedback from them?
Nope, not so far.
I think that is safe. General horror and confusion is the response. The reason why we did this is because of Australia listeners who have made themselves known.
We don't want to be exclusionary to the Southern Hemisphere. We want to be inclusive.
Yeah, not when Australia is our second biggest continent, because UK's dropped off.
Oh, UK. Fiction fan asked to make it more inclusive, right? Yes, that is correct.
Are we making it inclusive for the Capricorns? No, not really.
Sorry, Capricorns.
We can only do so much.
And then who's after Aquarius? Pisces?
I think Pisces,
Somebody?
yeah. We're about to learn we only know, like, ours and our friends. But
Colleen said yes, Pisces. So we're also excluding the Pisces because this is 8 weeks long.
The problem is the song Season of Aquarius.
Yeah, that's right.
That is why we're doing this one, because once again, we feel clever. Did I tell you that someone asked, I think I must have told you on one of our comments, was like, hey, why do you call it breadcrumbs and broomsticks?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, not for smart reasons.
Nope. Because we have weird mind associations with things and we just jump.
One day we're going to play the game that I want us to play, where we sit there and we say the same word. We have to try to guess what word we're going to say. And then we have to pause and then try to get closer to the same word. How long do you think it would take us?
The weird thing is we're extremely good at Pictionary because we can make the same associations, but when we've tried that, we go in the opposite directions.
Have we tried
Yes,
that?
we have. We are terrible at it.
I blocked that out.
I
Were you thinking
know.
Versailles?
Pardon?
Were you thinking Versailles?
No.
Oh. That's the only example that I can think of where we failed.
No, we tried this like within the last 6 months.
If we didn't succeed, I don't count it.
You don't remember it.
No. No. Okay, so we're here to talk about Phantasma. If I call it Fantasia, Phantasmic, I'm sorry.
Again, our minds jump and make associations
I
by
don't think
sounds.
that's big of a leap there.
No, it's not. Okay. All right.
Hands up.
Tits up.
Mm-hmm.
I want perky tits.
We do push-ups. Actually, we don't.
We don't do push-ups.
But we do a lot of other things.
We do, and I am sore today.
Now that I grab my boobs, I'm like, oh, I'm sore. No, that's PMS.
Yeah. No, my right here, my chest right here is very sore. Sorry, guys. We're just admiring the fact that we've been working out.
Wait until, no, I can't. The sleeve doesn't. I've been flexing my little muscle to anyone who'll watch.
Okay.
All right, hands up, tits up. Do you want to go first or shall I?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. A pleasant surprise, not quite YA, obviously, with meaning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't, okay.
Caveman grunt. Cavewoman did not have enough words. Cavewoman need more tits up.
Okay. Some parts were surprising. Some others predictable. Generally enjoyed it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was counting your words. I was like, did you have room for yay?
Yay. No, I did 10.
Yeah, you did. Shall we discuss initial impressions and then go into themes?
Sure. Initial impressions. I will start off. Like I said in my first 10 words, general impressions, there were definitely some things that I was like, oh, you went there. For example, there were things that felt reminiscent of Fourth Wing in the fact that I was like, oh, she's not afraid to kill people off. That's cool. I'm down with that. And then there were other things that felt very predictable about the relationship, about who Blackwell was. I really, really, really enjoyed the depiction of OCD.
Oh, yeah.
And I really enjoyed just the vibes. I enjoyed the vibes.
I think this is a very vibe-heavy book, and that is not a bad thing. That is actually one of those types of books that I would want to read that desperately. If it's just like, I am here for the vibes, that is Phantasma. That is such a great way. And I don't want anyone to think that that means that this book doesn't have depth to it or that we didn't like it, but it's just a vibe. It's a vibe. It felt like a nice break almost from what we've been reading. Did you feel that too? It just felt like a nice little like mental bloop to like come over here and read this instead. It was refreshing.
It was. And granted, we recorded out of order, but the first 2 books we read for book club were Alchemized and An Ember in the Ashes.
You know, this makes sense. This makes sense now.
Yeah. So this is completely different from those 2 things.
I am starting to understand why I was like, this feels like a splash of spring water and fresh air. Like, why am I feeling this way? That's why.
Because this is more romance than those 2 books are.
Yeah, I think initial impressions, and the reason why I say, I don't want to say that it came off juvenile. I think it just didn't come off as heavy as some of the books that we've been reading. So this makes a lot more sense where I was like, oh, this is kind of light, which is hilarious because of the warning. There was like trigger warnings at the beginning where it was like, this might be dark. And I was like, what little daisy, breath of fresh air is this little masterpiece here? But it is what?
You mean having sex under a waterfall of blood is fresh air? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the things we've had to discuss, yeah.
Consensual.
It was
Like,
consensual.
at this point, you know, I don't think a single person was threatened with rape in this.
I guess not.
All the demons, all the devils were consensual. Like, Amy's really, yeah, everyone was like, hey, I'll stop when you want it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Waterfall of blood, that was consenting.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
Okay.
all that showed me is Blackwell's willing to go down on her while she's on her period.
Yeah, maybe. Didn't think about that, but okay.
Wait, whose blood now? Like, okay, human blood, animal blood.
We don't know. It was a storm cloud of blood.
Synthetic at this point?
Again, don't know.
It might change my opinion.
Uh,
Yeah, I thought that there was a lot of surprising aspects of like, okay, she's willing to go there. One was the OCD, and we'll get into that more. I love that that wasn't an actual demon in her head. Like, that was OCD, and I thought that was a very brave move, and I'll get more into that later. I loved that she like, her and Blackwell got into a fight. They essentially broke up, and she was like, I'm gonna go get fingered by this other demon over here. And I was like, get it, girl.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
like, Blackwell didn't get to be pissy about it, jealous, sure, but and I was like really surprised about that, because I thought that that's something that very easily could turn a female readership into hating the FMC, because we've seen female readerships be very hard on FMC. So I thought that was a risky, bold move. And just, big fan of all the deaths. Keep going. Keep killing these characters off.
Yeah.
Because none of the main ones died. You know what I mean? Like, you create a rich secondary cast to kill them off.
Yep. And some of them deserved it. Some of them didn't. But I enjoyed the tragedy of all of them.
Yeah. It still felt refreshing.
It did. It did. All right. So what do we want to talk about first? Do we want to talk about OCD? Do we want to talk about world building?
Oh, let's talk about OCD, because I feel like there's just going to keep coming back to that.
So my first question for you, when you were listening to the audiobook, did you listen to the author's note about OCD at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. I enjoyed that it was OCD, like I said. Like, I thought that was brave to do, because it could have been, I don't want to call it a cop-out, but like a metaphor. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been like, this demon that can be exorcised from within is actually, it's a metaphor for OCD. It's like, no, this is OCD. And I relate to that as someone like who's bipolar and like feels like sometimes there could be something inside. I also, am I OCD or am I a Libra? Because there was a time when I was younger, if I cut myself on my right arm, I would pick on my left until it would bleed too. And even now, you don't catch it, but like, if I bump my hand, I'll have to like reach over and bump my other hand. Or when I'm closing the door, when I'm leaving my apartment, if I don't shake it 3 times, I can be in the garage and I will come right back upstairs so I can do it. And I've done that before. And I've run late meeting up with you so I can do that. I have a fair amount of OCD things that I have. That like, and if I think about it, I can get hyper like, okay, well, both my hands aren't on both my armchairs right now. So it's like, it's way more manageable than what this is. But yeah, so it's like, again, is it OCD or am I just a Libra?
A little bit both.
I love OCD. Yeah. What about you?
I really enjoyed it. I was afraid that the twist or her greatest fear was that the shadow voice would be a demon. So therefore it would become a demon because that's Phantasma. I appreciated that instead the fear was, I'm afraid the voice will convince me to hurt myself. Because I think that's a genuine fear people with mental illness have, whatever their mental illness is.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that. And I appreciated the author's note at the end saying, not all OCD looks like this. OCD is a misunderstood concept, that we ascribe to neat freaks and really clean, like extreme cleanliness, etc.
Yeah.
And that this is reflective of the author's own experience. And I like that it's something she lives with for the rest of her life. It never goes away.
But it's manageable.
But it's manageable.
Yeah. And you can do that with you can call it OCD. You can put in copy paste and put anxiety here, and people can relate to that where, whether you have OCD, I feel like everyone has a thing inside them, whether it's anxiety or depression or whatever it might be. There's a thing inside you that you feel like has control over your life. And you can almost feel like it's dictating some of your actions of like, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing, but I am compelled to do this. So I think that no matter what you may have or may not have, that element is very relatable.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, for me, I don't have OCD tendencies, but what the shadow voice reminded me of was the food noise that I get
Mm,
about prior to my own GLP-1 experience, just how consumed I was by thoughts of food
yeah.
and how thoughts of food controlled all of my decisions in my life.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought of that. Now that you're saying that, I can relate.
Yeah. So
Yee.
so that definitely is part of it. And I would say, darker times in my depression. I don't
Mhm.
experience that now. It's very manageable for me, but it's not the same, but I feel the connection to it. Like
Yeah.
I see the relationship there. So I thought Kaylee did a really good job with that.
Mhm.
And I thought it was really brave. Oh, Jess just joined. She says, so glad I made it for this live as someone with anxiety with compulsive symptoms. And as a therapist, I absolutely loved this book and the mental health representation.
Yeah. It felt great to have something where it's like, this is very obviously OCD. This is very obviously a mental health, not like metaphor slash on the nose.
Hmm.
And I think Kaylee did a really good job of it, both playing into the plot
Hmm.
and not being like, this is a giant metaphor for OCD. Like it felt really, really natural to
Yeah.
the character and to the way that it came in and out throughout the story.
Yeah, I agree. It's not like, and I can't think of a story off the top of my head, but it had a purpose in the character. It served purpose in the plot. It was very natural. It wasn't an accessory. Whereas
Yeah.
sometimes mental health feels like an accessory to
Yeah.
stories where it's just like they're like, oh, they have brown hair. That was not the case with OCD
Hmm.
in this story.
I agree. There's a number there. I can't, again, I say there's a number of times I can't name a single book off of my head, but I feel like there's definitely a handful of books I've read where you're like, you're really forcing this onto the character or into the environment. But it was just such a very powerful use of it into the plot and into the character. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I very much appreciate it. I feel like if my bipolar was a demon, she, definitely a she, would be like, hey, girl, get off your meds. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah, she would.
Don't you want to write a book in 2 days? Don't you want to?
Don't you want to be manic?
Don't you want this? And I'm like, kinda, but no.
She would be party girl Taylor in the anti-hero music video.
Oh my God. You just broke my brain. No,
Yeah.
genuinely, I kind of want to. Oh, you're so fucked at the gym tomorrow. I'm going to like hit you
Oh,
and hug you. Oh my God. That is the most accurate representation of my bipolar, where she's like, let's have fun and I'm going to fuck you up.
no. Hmm. And
Don't
you're
go off
just
your
like,
meds. I know. I'm having fun.
I want to be here. Jess is saying it was incredibly well blended in both the plot and character growth, and not as just a helpful device to move the story along.
Mhm.
Whispers, I actually thought Blood of Hercules used mental health as an accessory and excuse rather than development of the character. Oh, hot take.
We can disagree. That's okay. Blood of Hercules will never do wrong for me. That's
You identified very strongly with that character.
yeah, you'll never get me on any other side than that was a work of art. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
I took a breath thinking I was going to say something, but I
Do
have
that.
no
Okay, so
words.
we both thought you were gonna talk.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right.
Cool. So I think that, yes, we've discussed the OCD. Amy has discovered that I have a bit of compulsion tendencies inside me. Once you start paying attention, you might.
Oh, I'm now going to see it all the time.
Yeah.
Now that I know to look for it.
Yeah. Like if I pet Dahlia with one hand, sometimes I need to pet her with the other hand. The fact
I'm
that
sorry.
15 years have gone by and you haven't picked up on it means I'm very good about being subtle, which I am.
You are.
Yeah.
You're very good.
I remember the first time I talked about it with a therapist and she was like, "So you have OCD tendencies." I was like, "I'm a Libra? I don't think you understand the difference. I like scales. I like balance. That's different. I'm not OCD. I just have to cut myself on the other arm if I cut myself there. But like not with a knife, with my finger. I'll pick at it. That's not OCD. That's Libra, sun. No, no.
No. No.
Okay, so let's continue to discuss, God, what's the FMC's name?
Ophelia.
Ah,
Again, Taylor.
Fate of Ophelia. Yeah, I was jamming to this quite a bit. I can't believe I forgot it. So let's talk about Ophelia and her fate.
So I don't know how folks felt about Ophelia. I know when I was reading some Goodreads reviews, some people didn't feel like the character progression of Ophelia was believable, who she was at the beginning and who she was by the end. I actually enjoyed the ride. I think I understand the character motivation of being so driven by like family. She
Yeah.
only has one family member left. That person has made a reckless choice. She feels responsible as the eldest daughter to go save her sister. And so she's going to do what she's got to do to survive to save her sister. To me, that felt very straightforward, but I also wasn't there to like critique.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
Just really quick. Jess says also that episode, aka Blood of Hercules, was the first time I felt like we were beefing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
Jess.
it's so funny. I feel like there was a couple of people afterwards that were just like, I was expecting us to be on the same page.
And we were not.
No, that's the thing. Blood of Hercules is now one of my top favorite books of all time, and I will not be taking any questions.
She says, I've coped and recovered.
Okay. So I got a little sneak peek into some other comments from our listeners that we'll go over later. But yeah, I saw that as like a comment of it felt like a reach. And I think that this book, for all intensive purposes, is a standalone. The second book is about the sister.
Mm-hmm.
Ophelia's story begins and ends here. And
Yeah.
I think that was it A Cruel Thirst that I feel like those were some of the similar comments of,
Mm-hmm.
well, that just feels like, they were so different by the end of the book. Well, it's like, well, that's a standalone, is that you kind of need them to get to the end and be someone completely different because you're not giving this 3 books of character growth, right? You kind of need it
Right.
all to happen here. And for that reason, when you look at the different beats, right? You have the beginning of the book, the loss of her mother, her stepping in, going after her sister, and then killing someone, realizing that, while she feels bad about it, she's kind of like, a girl needs to do to save her sister. There were having sex really for the first time, like good sex. It changes a woman. And I think that for all of that, it was pretty like the beats made sense to me as to how she got to that point.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I don't remember at what point I realized it was a standalone. I don't think you had told me before I started reading it, but I think I looked it up.
Mhm.
Or maybe the book starts by saying it's a standalone. I can't remember.
I didn't know it was a standalone until it was done. And then I was like, "Oh, that was a nice standalone. That makes a lot more sense."
Yeah. I didn't struggle. I think I gave it the benefit of the doubt because I could tell that there were supernatural forces at work.
Mm,
And the fact that they're not fated mates, but there's some sort of fate, past life stuff involved, I was like, I can go with this.
I love past life shit. I eat it up. I loved that aspect of the book. What I loved about it is that it was like the Locket reincarnation. So
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of elements to it for her to be Angel. And then the fact that he was calling her Angel. And, even though it was like, her locket's going to be the key type thing. Yes, I
Right.
guess that. But, the fact that a little soul was of his ex-lover was trapped in there. You can't tell me you guys were guessing that off the bat.
I appreciated that. So all the references to angels and demons, because there were a lot throughout the book.
Yeah.
I had figured out his identity. I guess I had assumed she was actually, at one point I was convinced she was the demon reincarnation and he was the angel reincarnation.
Ooh.
Which I thought was interesting too. But I appreciate that Ophelia still is Ophelia at the end of the day, that she's not usurped by this past lover. So I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, it's a nice little, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I, as Ophelia would have had been like, so who do you like more? Me or Angel?
That would have been
It's like, if you had to choose, who would it be? Me or Angel? And it's like, it's always, you are Angel. Really? What's our favorite colors? Yeah, I do like that it was Ophelia that he loves. And it's funny, I never guessed that he was the demon
Salamaeus
prince son, but I also just knew. Does that make sense? Like, there was never a moment of like, oh, I wonder if it's him. I just was like, the second they're like, the person in charge who you don't meet, I'm like, oh, it's him.
Yeah.
All right. Like, I'm on board with that. Like, that's fine. Yeah. You can't have a mysterious figure and a person who is and a man and a man not be the mysterious figure. For me personally, I really love that the second I was like, oh, thank God he's not actually a ghost, things can make sense for me. Like, I was more concerned about like, how is the long-term repercussions of this relationship going to work out? Like, I get he can manifest into physical being, but you know, it's like Edward and Bella. I understand Bella. What's going to happen? Edward, how long are you going to be with me? Yeah. So I was pleased about that.
Hang tight. We'll be back faster than a smoldering stare across a battlefield.
One of my financial goals for 2026 is to pay for my wedding completely with cash. No debt here.
Luckily, Monarch has you covered. Managing your money doesn't have to be a struggle this year, Amy.
Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life and my life easier.
It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts, and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your laptop or phone.
Start your new year on the right foot financially and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with the code BookTok.
Doing our taxes, Amy, made me realize how many subscriptions I didn't turn off, and I can't wait for Monarch to help me manage my money and subscriptions.
A lot of people may quit their New Year's resolution, but this year I don't have a choice. This wedding's happening. So I'm excited to use Monarch to help me make sure I achieve my goals.
Unlike most other personal finance apps, Monarch is built to make you proactive, not just reactive. Monarch has helped users save over $200 per month on average after joining.
8 out of 10 members feel more in control of their finances with Monarch.
This new year, achieve your financial goals for good. Monarch is the all-in-one tool that makes proactive money management simple all year long.
Use code BookTalk at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with the code BookTalk. BookTalk. This show is sponsored by Liquid IV.
Every single time when we say take a sip on the podcast, I am sipping my Liquid IV. This isn't even a joke. I love my Liquid IV so much because I am able to stay hydrated the entire time we are recording our 3-hour-long episodes.
Liquid IV is such an important part of my day. Jack and I have been working out, going to the gym, eating different for better health and body recomposition, and damn it, we drink a lot of water.
Liquid IV's hydration multiplier is a science-backed formula and contains an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients.
Liquid IV's hydration multiplier hydrates you with 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, and it doesn't feel sickly sweet. It's always refreshing.
Plus, it's non-GMO, free from gluten, dairy, and soy. No artificial colors or sweeteners, and they have so many good flavors. Honestly, I'm obsessed with everything they do.
And just one stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than the water alone.
Rehydrate with better hydration from Liquid IV.
Tear, pour, and live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with the code BookTok at checkout.
That's 20% off your first order with code BookTalk. That's BookTalk at liquidiv.com.
Jess says, I felt the growth of Ophelia was very in line with her character. It was more the role/influence of her mother that I felt didn't always feel consistent. I have words about this mother character.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You have words. I got words. You say your words.
I went and updated my mother curse article to include something about this book because of this.
I feel like this is, and I'm going to just say my one thing because I know you're about to have the best thing in the world. And I want to say my thing because you're about to say something super smart. Real fast. I think that this was a great example of peeling back layers and seeing the truth behind your familial mother trauma of being like, this is who the mother really is when you become honest with yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate what it attempted. I did look up the plot of the book before I finished because I was so hung up on the mother character. And I was so frustrated at another example of a dead mother used to traumatize a protagonist so that they could have this hurdle that they would have to overcome in their life.
Okay, that's true.
To be a fully developed character. So I was pissed.
You know what? Yeah.
About it.
Yeah, I can. Okay. See, that's why I wanted to make sure I said my thing first because you're about to make me change my mind.
So I do understand what you're saying because I do appreciate that we got a little bit of interaction with the mother. We got to learn a little bit about the mother's history. I liked that the mother's death was not of her own doing.
Yeah, that one was weird.
But the mother still was not complex enough for me to understand Ophelia's disdain and love for her mother all at the same time. And at the end of the day, all the mother did was traumatize her and put her in a box. And maybe that's how we all feel about our parents, but it's just another example of mothers being the villains, intentionally or unintentionally, in a fantasy romantasy setting.
It is an epidemic of fantasy novels and just killing off mothers and always making them evil one way or another. I think what I liked about it, and I can go back and forth on instances that I feel like supports what I'm saying, and I feel like it could have had more backing and needed a little bit more strength behind, would be I really appreciated how, for me, and I feel like I thought that you would, now that you say what you're saying, I can see why your mind went there. But initially I was like, oh, Amy would get this idea of obligation to your family, this idea of, well, it doesn't really matter how you were treated. You have an obligation to your family. It doesn't really matter what you want. You have an obligation to your family. And the eldest daughter aspect of it. So, at the beginning, we get this mom that's kind of memorialized as this, like, oh no, her mom, what are we, like, she's dead. Like, we feel horrible. And we start to get more truth as like, her mom kind of sucked, right? And I can easily have been projecting my own familial experience. And this isn't just to my mom. This is to all the women in my family. No, that's not true. But like, it's just, it's a very cultural thing that I feel like in Latin culture, I can see. And I was hoping that when we got time with the mom, it was going to be something that it ended up not being. But that could very well easily have been me projecting my own familial trauma and responsibility onto Ophelia. So it's kind of unfair for me to be like one way or another because I know I was projecting throughout.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I totally appreciate and identify Ophelia's experience as I have a legacy that I need to live up to. I've been given all this responsibility. I've been entrusted with this. It doesn't matter what I want. I have to do this thing because that's what is expected of me. Totally get that.
Yeah.
It is used to villainize the mother, though. Which, just for those of you who don't know, I have a Subtext Society Journal article about this. We'll discuss it in an upcoming live. But it bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
What I do appreciate about the interaction with Ophelia and her mother after she passes through the Whispering Gate to see her mother on the other side was her mother saying, you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to choose this path to keep our legacy going.
Yeah.
I like that because I feel like I've had that in my own life of, expecting to disappoint my father and him being like,
Mhm.
well, if you really want to give up pre-med and go get an English degree, I'll support you. Or my mother being
Yeah.
like, you don't have to stay in Arizona to help me raise your sisters. You can go to California. So I appreciated that. There wasn't enough character development in the mother
Yeah.
through the backstory to justify that.
Yes. I agree. I completely agree. Side note, both of your parents and their support of you led you to me.
True.
It's true.
In both cases.
Yeah. Yeah, there was something about like the whole letting go, it's okay, you can release it aspect. God, I had a thought and then I got distracted. I'm like, all roads lead to our friendship. Okay, so the mother finding her, I wish there was more an apology. I feel like at that point, like the mother just wasn't. We got this idea that the mom did not treat her well enough, was not proud of her, like did a lot more damage that Ophelia was coming to terms with. And that's, again, might be like me being the kind of person that would be like recognize like, shit, maybe I might have, my bad, done something. But, whether that would be more screen time with her, more flashbacks, or maybe more time understanding the love story between the parents. I don't know if that's a book 2 thing or not, but that felt like I needed a lot more from that. And maybe that happens in book 2 and I just don't know.
Yeah. I think I felt like at one point the curse between the mother and father, the apathy that the mother develops for the father, I felt like that was almost an attempt to explain the mother's apathy towards the children.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't feel like it went far enough to explain that. It was almost just like it could be this, and that was it.
Plot twist, it's an ad break, but we promise it is still canon.
One of the things that was really hard to learn about banking as a young 20-something was how to avoid overdraft fees and building enough credit to actually have a credit card. There are so many ways Chime is making banking stress-free. They don't charge you fees for banking with them, and they provide you overdraft coverage. And on top of that, you can build credit without the worry about a regular credit card.
There's a reason why Chime is rated 5 stars by USA Today for customer service, because they offer real humans 24/7. I can't tell you the amount of times I have called my bank crying because I cannot stop talking to the robot who cannot help me.
I personally feel like every 20-something-year-old out there needs a Chime card. It's a great way to build credit history with your own money that you're actually earning, and you get rewarded every day.
And for those of us who might not be 20-something, still highly recommend it because of the no annual fees, no interest, no strings attached. And when you qualify for direct deposits, you get 1.5% cash back on eligible Chime card purchases. That's good for anyone.
It's good for everyone.
Chime is not just smarter banking. It is the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today.
It just takes a few minutes to sign up. Head to chime.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK.
That's chime.com/booktalk.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services, a secured Chime Visa credit card, and MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. MyPay eligibility requirements apply, and credit limit ranges $20 to $500. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. See chime.com/fees info. Advertised annual percentage yield with Chime Plus status only. Otherwise, 1.00% APY applies. No min balance required. Chime card on-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. See chime.com for details and applicable terms.
Here's the thing about New Year's resolutions. Nearly 80% fail by February. And it's not because people lack willpower, it's because they lack data.
Things like leptin resistance, thyroid dysfunction, chronic inflammation, or hormone imbalances These hidden issues can derail even your best efforts to get healthier or feel better when you realize what's going on.
This year, my focus is really getting my blood work in line, especially when it comes to heart health. That's been a big issue for me, and I know I need to go back and get tested in April. That's exactly why I chose Function. It's the only health platform giving you access to over 160 biomarkers, covering everything from hormones and metabolism to heart health, inflammation, stress markers, and toxins.
You can even add MRI and chest CT imaging, and it's all tracked in one secure place over time. It's the kind of comprehensive view of your health that most people never get to access.
There's a reason why top health leaders are all behind Function. When you stop guessing and start measuring, everything changes. Your health goals actually have a foundation to build on. So this year, don't rely on guesswork. Get your data, track what matters, and make resolutions based on your biology.
Own your health for $365 a year. That's $1 a day. Learn more and join using our link. Visit functionhealth.com/booktalk or use the code BookTalk25, that's BOOKTALK 25, for a $25 credit toward your membership. I firmly believe in New Year, New Me, and that requires a wardrobe change.
It's actually cold in California. I am so excited because Quince has all of our staples covered. From soft Mongolian cashmere sweaters that feel like designer pieces without the markup, to 100% silk tops and skirts for easy dressing up, to perfectly cut denims for everyday wear.
I purposefully gave my partner my wool coat so I can get a Quince Italian wool coat because they are gorgeous. They're beautifully tailored, they're soft to the touch, and they're built to last years, not just one season.
That's because the quality shows in every detail. You can seriously tell with the stitch, with the fit, with the fabric. Every piece is thoughtfully designed.
Like everything from Quince, each piece is made with premium materials in ethical, trusted factories, which I love. Each piece is priced far below the cost of other luxury brands.
Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/booktalk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, to get free shipping and 365 days returns.
Well, okay, riddle me this, Amy. At the very beginning, when they go to the bank, it was implied that the sister pulled out the loans. And the sister did get the loans on behalf of the mom, right? That's how that worked out?
The sister was paying it back. She made the last two payments
Okay, that's
on
what
the debt for their mother.
Okay, so that was what signed, was the payment of the last two. Yeah, I think I was just like so mad at the sister right off the go. Where I'm like, just tell her, I know you're stealing money. That I just like it, when we came to the explanation, the sister in general, I actually was like, I don't know, I felt like their reunion was not as emotional as the remainder of the book has been. I felt like there was an emotional precedence that Ophelia had when she was thinking about her sister, in the level that she has with her guilt, that she struggles with, having killed someone, with her struggle with her feelings with the Phantom. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of emotional complexity to Ophelia that their reunion, for me, didn't match the emotional complexity. And I understand that, like, when you're with your sister, you just want to be like, oh my God, sister. But it just felt very much like, oh my God, we haven't seen each other in a week. Let's talk.
Yeah, Jess says, agreed, Jack. I felt like Ophelia was working a lot harder for her sister than her sister was for Ophelia. And I agree. I feel like that's maybe the most underdeveloped relationship in this book for me, because Ophelia is so quick to be resentful and angry at her sister. And then, yes, she goes through all these hard things to find her sister and is relieved to find her sister. But there's a point where they're reconciling, where she's like, I love you. You're the most important person in my life. But then they're so quick to be annoyed with each other. And maybe that's realistic for a sibling.
I think that's a realistic sister thing. I've seen you.
With my sisters.
Yeah.
I don't know. It did give me whiplash, though. I felt like it was a little disjointed for me.
What was disjointed for me was just the emotional setup leading up to it. To then get this, like, hey, sister, slumber party whiplash that I wasn't kind of prepared for because it was just like emotional buildup. And then it flipped over and I was like, so now that she's like, oh, tell me about this boy. You know what I mean? Like it felt a very, the tone felt different. I feel like the
Yeah.
tone shifted for the book when the sister showed up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it just felt incongruent with the rest of the book and the rest of the tone, because the book has its funny moments and the tone is not sacrificed
Yeah.
for those moments.
Maybe the sister's personality just came through too much, you know? Because the sister has like a hell of a personality. And I know I'm like, I was not a fan of the sister where I was like, I know you're trying to take responsibility, but you are so immature. You know what? This is moments like these that I'm like, maybe I wasn't meant to be like a full-time big sister. I'm counting cousins and other situations part of it. And I think I maybe like it's good that I was not a full-time for like older sister because I don't think that
You could handle it.
I don't think I would. I think I would hold way more grudges than I do now. I worry. If I had someone to be like come back at me as just as stubborn as me, and then it just wouldn't. This parallel universe, Jack, is miserable. Yeah, so I think it's just like I was so angry at her sister that I personally, as the reader, did not forgive her for the decisions that she made about their mothers, hiding that from Ophelia. I didn't forgive her for coming into Phantasma. I didn't forgive her for getting mad at like her reading her diary. Like she made her Ophelia feel bad about it. And I was like, you bitch, you ran off. She gets to read whatever the hell she wants.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. When you're going to act irresponsibly, you don't get to be mad about the things people do to try and save you from your own mistakes.
Yeah. So on one hand, good job, Kaylie, for coming up with a character that's getting a visceral reaction from me. 2, because this isn't her story, I don't forgive her. I don't care for her. It's going to be up to Kaylie to make me come around to her in book 2 if I ever were to get around to book 2, because again, I'm just like, I don't know. I really want to buy the set. Have you seen the Fairy Loot version of them?
I haven't.
So pretty. They're very pretty. So I would read it just so I can justify buying both of them. But / like, I enjoyed the story. So yeah, I like the sister, man. Oh, I have feelings about her.
Jess says she just got those. They are so pretty.
They are. Go ahead and take a look at it.
I was going to say, now I need to look.
I'm going to take a sip while you do it. Everyone in the chat, let's all take a sip.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
They are very pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty. And now I want them.
We can't buy things until after December 14th.
I can't buy things until the new year. I just can't afford anything.
Okay, what did you buy this morning?
A dress. I lowballed them. I didn't think they were going to accept my lowball offer. This is the problem. This is why these apps are dangerous, because I love negotiating. And if I can get things at a good deal, I just can't. I just can't help myself. It's a problem. I know.
It is a sign of ADHD.
Is it?
Yeah, that's one of the things where like people who have ADHD like will shop, and then if they can like find good deals, they can find really good deals, and then that ends up kind of being like an explanation for it.
I've always wondered if I have ADHD. There's enough signs.
I love you, no matter what. I've loved you before your diagnosis, and I will love you after your diagnosis.
It's not something to be ashamed of. It's just something that I've never thought about.
I brought it up to you before.
Fiction fan says, I love the take a sip addition to the episodes. Makes me think about drinking water. LOL.
Thank you. We drink water regularly, and we wanted to inflict that upon all of you.
Jess asks, what special editions do I spy over your shoulder? I'll have to do like a special like tour of my space and post it on Patreon, because I haven't done that yet.
My space is not pretty enough, but it's getting some real good looking things up there. We have Bond of Hercules that hasn't been shipped. My Silver Elite hasn't been shipped. Very sad about that. We do have our October, November, our next Fairy Loot one is coming soon.
Yes.
So we'll do another unboxing. I enjoyed that last unboxing that we did for Alchemize.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
We'll do that for another episode. Okay, let's talk about Buckbeak.
Buckbeak?
Blackwell? I kept calling him Buckbeak throughout the whole thing in my head.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We need to rinse your brain of the J.K. Rowling fodder.
Or, for once in anyone's fucking life, name him Dave or something. Kyle.
Fiction fan, the Hippogriff? Yes, the Hippogriff.
Yes. Kyle. Okay, you want me to remember a name?
Blackwell is not that hard.
I'm just... Why does everyone have to have a really cool, fancy, long name? And I love Quicksilver, but Kingfisher, it's just so long.
It's a bird's name.
And Blackwell is also something's name. I don't know. I didn't have anything to say. Okay.
Oh.
What are your thoughts on this Phantasma daddy, the shadow Phantasma daddy?
I loved the idea that he's been robbed of his memories and he trades his memories. Like, he uses them in deals too.
Yeah.
To get what he needs. And the fact that who he is between, the various trials, various competitions.
Yeah.
Is not who he is during the haunt. I mean, it's kind of convenient, but also interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was a nice little twist. I don't know. I enjoyed him.
I enjoyed him too. And I was trying to figure out what made him different for me, because he hits a lot of the tropes, right? He is Shadow Daddy. He is very MMC. He hits a lot of these things that everyone loves, but also not. Maybe it's because he's less I will kill everyone, and he's just more sly. Maybe that's what it is. But I did find him unique. I found him to also be refreshing compared to the other books we've been reading, where I was like, oh, this is so nice. But maybe it is because he wasn't so, I will burn the world down for you. And it was more I will negotiate a deal for you.
I think what I liked about him is that I'm trying to think compared to the last two books that we've read, as much as he wants to help her, he's also I can't help you unless I get what I need to. And he has some selfish motivation to him, which I think makes him refreshing and makes him more believable, because he has motivations outside of loving the FMC.
Yeah. I think there's also a layer of reasonableness to him.
Yeah.
The fact that when she went off and hooked up with the other demon, and he was jealous, but he did not blame her at all. Oh my God. Take me now. I was like, you mean you feel 1, feel guilty, 2, realize this is your own damn fault, and 3, do not blame her, do not shame her, do not do anything to her. And I really appreciate that. And I feel like just that one action alone set him apart from a lot of other MMCs we would have seen.
Yeah.
Out there.
Because he's an adult.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
He felt like a reasonable adult at the end of the day.
Truly, it felt like a frontal lobe was developed with him.
Yeah. I mean, he is more than 500 years old.
But how many times have we read these male characters who are a million years old, and you're like, okay, but you're fighting with this 19-year-old.
I know. Actually, that's what it is. He was refreshing, having been slogging my way through Air of Fire and being so frustrated with Rowan. He was like, oh, you can reason. You can be rational. Wow.
Yeah. It's like he understood that his things are his things, and that she is a person who has her things, and both two things can exist. And, you can help one another, and one does not have to impact the other. It felt very reasonable. And he also wasn't perfect either. And so it felt like one of those things where you're like, oh, wow, a reasonable man who isn't like this. It's so reasonable that I don't feel like it's fake. It's the kind of reasonable that I would expect any man. And that's why it's so refreshing, because I'm like, I don't see this all the time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Plot twist, it's an ad break. but we promise it is still canon.
Been going on more first dates, Amy, and that means I need to be able to run the hell out of there if I need to while looking good.
It doesn't matter if you're there to enjoy or flee the date, the shoes make the outfit.
It's so true. And Bionic has been there with me for several dates at this point. And that's because not only are my Uptown sneakers so cute and so comfortable, but my very intelligent dress, Ramona, has been one of my go-to pumps for these dates because they're timeless. And again, I cannot stress enough, very comfortable.
And they're perfect for work, dinners, and any type of activity so that no matter the weather or what you're doing for your date, it always looks good.
I was at an arcade date last night and it was a lot of standing, so I was very comfortable.
That's because Vionic has their exclusive VO motion technology. It sets them apart because they began by revolutionizing medical orthotics. That science is in their shoes today.
They even offer a 30-day guarantee. Wear them, love them, or return them for a full refund within 30 days.
Use code BookTok at checkout for 15% off your entire order at VionicShoes.com when you log into your account. Again, that's code BookTalk, BookTalk. It's a one-time use only, so don't squander it.
Vionic Shoes, wearable well-being for your feet.
I am your host, Stassi Schroeder. Welcome to Tell Me Lies, the official podcast. What's the most unhinged thing of season 3?
Steven, because he's so evil.
I do think he is misunderstood.
You see everyone face consequences. It's intoxicating.
The writers just know how to trick you.
There's always a twist in this show. It's nothing you would expect.
Tell Me Lies, the official podcast, now streaming, and stream the new season of Tell Me Lies on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Jess says he is morally gray adjacent in a selfish but also honest way. Which, isn't that what it means to be human?
It's so funny. I don't even consider him entirely morally gray. I mean, I start listing the things that he does, and it's like, I guess it could be gray, but I don't find it to be entirely gray when you are being honest with the people who are making the risks. When I mean that by like, is him being morally gray negotiating people's life off their years? Well, yes, he's trying to do it for a reason, but one, people came into this very dangerous competition knowing what it would be, that a lot of people die from it. They are entering a bargain this is giving me Ursula, and it's not Ursula's fault that Ariel couldn't fucking read the fine print, So it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, is he morally gray, or are the people who entered Phantasma stupid and desperate?
Yes.
And that's why, I do feel like I have high standards for morally gray.
Yeah.
I do. I think as of late, the only true morally gray character has been actually Alchemized would be some good morally gray ones.
Yeah.
I was thinking Manon, but even then she's like my shiny little star.
Yeah. Manon is hard to think morally gray, even though I know she is. Yeah. I mean, the Cruel Prince, Jude.
Yes.
That's who I think of when I think of morally gray.
Agreed. You're going into hurting people, knowing you're going in to hurt people. And it's not even necessarily for the greater good. It's for your own selfish benefit, and you are manipulating them. And I think that's where it's like, when you leave room for consent, is that morally gray? Am I the problem? Maybe.
Jess says, I agree. He's not truly morally gray, just adjacent. Some shades were there, but not fully morally gray.
Yeah. I enjoyed him. Thoroughly.
But the honesty with it felt refreshing. I agree.
Yeah.
I
just never felt like their back and forth was too back and forthy. They got together, they broke up. They got together, they broke up. It was kind of like, we can't do this because of, curse reasons. And they tried a couple times and it didn't work. And then they just kind of went with it. And it didn't feel too childish of the get together, break up, get together, break up type thing.
Yeah, it wasn't because of miscommunication. It was because...
too much communication of the fact that they love each other.
Yeah, trying to skirt around the fact that they love each other and knowing that there will be consequences and knowing that it won't last because he will leave with Phantasma at the end of the week. So, yeah, that all felt reasonable to me, and I wasn't frustrated by it.
Same. The only time he really got on my mark where I was like, you better fucking apologize to her is after they had sex for the first time and he started putting on his clothes. I am so happy she said something. My feelings were hurt immediately. My 20s were a cruel time.
Yeah. I think what I liked about him is that he was relentless with his teasing and with making his interest known.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm tired of people not making, I don't know.
If you want to fuck, just say you want to fuck, man. You know, okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's just be real. Let's just be honest.
Like, he's like, yeah, I like you and I'm attracted to you.
And I'm attractive and I can tell you're attracted to me. Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. Let more people fuck. Let more hot people fuck, guys. Every once in a while I'll be online and I'll see like two like really beautiful people together. And I'm just like, I'm happy you guys found each other. This is a work of art. This is good. Other people like me have to take the hit and go for those funny looking guys.
But you love them. You love those funny
Trying
guys.
not to. I'm trying to like be, I'm trying like, what if I was, imagine this. Ready? What if I was with an attractive guy? Can you imagine that?
No. I'm trying.
What if he was attractive, emotionally available, and honest with his intention?
Wow. I would be borderline jealous.
And that's a man. And you'd be like, what is that? I know. And generous? What? My God.
I'd be like, you struck the lottery. Why couldn't I hit the lottery? No, I love my fiance.
Yeah. I am open as I am supposed to be saying. Yes. So
Fiction
I don't know
fan.
where I went on that rant, but go ahead. What does fiction fans say?
Those exist? Question mark.
We're working on it. Again, yeah. I do like me some funny looking, but I think I'm willing to branch out and date attractive men. I'll take one for the team.
Should we read some listener comments?
Yeah. Let's see. I'll check to see if anyone's DM'd. I know I have something to say when I sent my full review on Goodreads.
Oh, I think that's from Erin, right?
Yeah. Did you read it? Or
no, I just saw her message come in.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Erin gave it a 2.75 rounded up.
Wow.
This was all right. I think it had a lot of potential, but it wasn't fleshed out enough. The vibes were great. See, vibes were, we all detected it. The concept was great. The banter was okay. And the spice was nice. But the world and the main conflict just weren't developed enough. I did find the ultimate twist predictable, but that's okay. The trials were okay, but not as exciting as I would have wanted them to be. I get the Caraval comparison, and I liked the more mature vibes of this compared to Caraval. Yeah, but they still both felt a little flat to me. I did like what I assumed she was attempting to do with the portrayal of mental illness through the shadow voice. That was good. However, so much was just not developed enough. The rules and norms of whatever society they lived in didn't make a lot of sense and were unclear, i.e., what is life like for them? Are women expected to marry and be pure? Suitors are mentioned and having to be chosen by them somehow, but so is sexual freedom for women. It just was never defined. And what else about the magic and paranormal aspects? I liked the paranormal bits, but wanted more on that. The main conflict and the ultimate why was rushed and didn't really make a lot of sense. We didn't get enough background and it all just kind of got dumped and rushed at the end. Why was his father so mad? What did he really do to betray him? What is their world like? Why is it so important to know someone's true name? And why wouldn't his father have already known that? And why was his curse so convoluted? It was really all kind of sloppy. And the trial with the fake Genevieves really made me mad because it made no sense. He literally gave her the answer and then she was so proud she figured it out. He just said the real one was on the outside. So, of course, neither of the copies were the real ones. Again, this was okay, but I think it didn't live up to its potential. She asked some good questions that I did not think about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the society question about is women's
yeah. What's expected?
what's expected. Because for a while, I assumed we're in like the late 1800s, early 1900s of America, right?
Yeah.
So I was surprised when Ophelia's like, yeah, that one summer with that one guy. I was like, oh, okay. No repercussions from that. I went with it, but I do agree that the end was rushed, especially with the reveal about the father and why was he so upset that Salem was dating a mortal?
Also, why did the dad feel the need to reincarnate the mortal? Like, it felt like the dad wasn't actually mad at him with that, right? Like that, like the Demon King, I kind of got the vibes of like he wanted his son to find her again. Like it, otherwise, like, why do all
Yeah.
that?
If you really think about it, the mansion of Phantasma and what exists in Phantasma, I really enjoyed, but everything else that like builds it up
Yeah.
doesn't really work.
Yeah. I mean, so like when it came to the world, I just kind of like checked out my brain and I was like, this is our world, but parallel universe world, right? Like it's just going to be our world ish. It's almost like the world deserved more books. The story was only one
Right.
book.
Right. And the point of the story was Phantasma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just says, I can agree with some of those questions, but it didn't feel that the questions about the world building pulled me out of the story in a jarring way. I mean, the reason why I didn't ask those questions is because I didn't really care.
Yeah.
All I cared about were the vibes inside Phantasma, and I got what I wanted from that.
Yeah. I mean, the second that one traveling circus that has ghosts is there, like, I was like, oh, okay, like, we're in a different world. You know, the fact that the mom was doing all these, like, you know, occult things and it was accepted, even if it was in New Orleans, right? Like, the fact that it was just kind of more opened and talked about, I immediately was like, okay, it's this world, but not.
Yeah.
Right? Because that wouldn't happen now or in the 18-somethings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, you'd have New Orleans, you have voodoo, you have other things going on, but, you know, it felt like it was like one of those things like, yes, phantoms do exist. Magic does exist, right?
Yeah. It just feels like, you know what? I'm going into the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland.
Yeah, I'm here. You don't
I'm
have to
here.
tell me anymore. I did not need the world and the magic system anymore explained to me.
Yeah.
The two questions I had was about Ophelia's dad and then Blackwell's dad. Those were the two that I was most confused about. And even the like true name. Yes, I was curious. I was like, well, how does the dad not know his name? However, did the dad give birth? No.
Yeah. No idea.
You know? So, I mean, and that's kind of like one of those, I think it's the same thing in Cruel Prince, right? The whole true name. It's very fairy, right? Like if you
It's
have
very
someone's
fairy.
true name. So I don't question the true name thing because that's very folklore fairy-esque of like, you know, once you have someone's true name, I'm like, I don't need to know how you know your true name, but no one else knows your true name. I don't need to know that info. But it was the like, why did the dad, I'm like, was the dad mad at him? Because now he's like giving him his love back again. So is Ophelia's dad just out on the loose? Are we not concerned about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You know? So just like my questions were more around the dads of like, so what are we doing here?
Yeah.
All right. I read that one. Shall you read more?
Sure. Do we have any more DMs?
Oops. Just the fact that someone today will listen to the episode where we talked about Slender Man, and then we were talking about the attempted murder, and then one of the girls who was sentenced to 40 years in, I think it's like psychiatric hold. She was at a group home and they like released her to a group home and she cut off her ankle monitor. And
one of our listeners lives in that area and was like,
Yeah.
oh, by the way.
by the way, I just listened to your episode and this happened.
Ooh. Okay. So we have some responses about things that folks liked about Phantasma. Tabitha says the setting and overall atmosphere, I think, goes along with the vibes.
Yep.
Lisa says vibes.
Sister's Library says Draco vibes. The word vibes is being used heavily.
Yeah.
I'm happy we're all aligned here.
Lobsterific. I love that. Lobsterific says, I liked the trials. They were interesting to read about and to visualize in my head. I have to say with the trials, I didn't expect them. I didn't expect them to be what they were, so I was entertained by that.
I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like they provided good conflicts, right? Especially the one where the more gold you pull out, then someone else's cage goes down
Mhm.
and then but you can carry the gold up with you. Like I liked how each one had to do with one of the 7 deadly sins essentially.
Yeah,
And I thought that was clever. I enjoyed that.
I did too. And what it reveals about people's personalities.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine would be that I don't like to climb.
You don't have the arm strength to do that. Sorry.
Hey,
You're getting there. You're getting
I
there.
use 17.5s. Okay, someone is not wearing sleeveless garments, but just imagine that underneath you can see
The little
someone
indents.
censor this because it's a gun show over here. I was barely flexing and my arms are so sore. We're doing legs tomorrow, don't worry. Snicky Web says, love that it felt so different and the OCD mixed into fantasy was very well done.
Juliana says, author's lived experience with obsessive compulsive disorder reflected in the FMC. I felt seen.
Yeah,
See, this is inclusive writing.
it is.
Exposing readers who may not understand what it is to live with OCD to what the author's experience is, which I enjoyed.
All right, I'm going to read some of the negatives. Snicky Web says, I felt like I was reading the FMC's name in every single sentence, which made first chapter feel choppy. It's a very specific note, and I like it.
No, I mean, it makes sense. I got that feedback from some of my beta readers in my book, so I feel that in
That
mine.
you use the name too much? Oh, because it's not first person. That's hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tabitha says the main character felt like she went through a personality change when she joined the game.
I think she went from grieving to having a purpose.
Yeah.
I think that when you're grieving, you only know how to grieve. And then when you have a purpose, you can throw your mind and everything into that and remove yourself from grieving.
I think also, she went from a life of complacency and being told what to do to, for the first time, having an opinion about what needed to be done. Does it explain it? Maybe not. Maybe there could have been ways to improve upon it. But I can both see what Tabitha is saying, but I also don't feel as strongly about that.
Yeah. Men's Miss says the history is really predictable, the characters shallow.
Jillian and M. Leggett both say the ending was rushed. Also, the sister. Also, she was so in love and willing to lose her soul after 9 days. Question mark, exclamation point.
I'm going to say that her soul locket is what threw her into. See, there's a lot of my mind's making jumps to reason. Like, okay, I took it to be like she's in love with him because of the soul locket.
Yeah.
Right. And
she's in some ways a reincarnation.
Yeah, because didn't he say that it has to be the right person to access the soul, which kind of meant the reincarnation. It's like Kaylie wanted reincarnation, but didn't want reincarnation. And so we're left with something there, which is falling into the reincarnation tropes of, oh, I love this person after 9 days, but you also don't want it to be reincarnation. So then we get caught on the fact of, wait, so she loved this person after only 7 days?
Yeah. Lobsterific says it didn't like the end. We find out the MMC is this big bad demon, but then he's like, oh, psych.
Sir Kristen says, I can't even get it to read on my Libby, on my local Libby, because they only have it in German. Well, time to read German.
I think one of us accidentally purchased it in French on our Audible.
Yeah, that's me. I need to go return that. Thank you for reminding me.
Because I was like, why is this in French?
That's my bad.
Okay.
I'm trying to expand our horizons, Amy.
Oh, okay. Sister's Library also said, skimmed the ending, felt too rushed, didn't care about the sister story.
This from Rachel, poor plot, poor character, and relationship development. So it feels kind of consensus of, some of the things. I feel like
fiction fan is like, now I have to go check the language. I'm on the holds list on the Libby app.
That's funny. I feel like vibe is the best way to put it. This book is a vibe.
Yeah.
And what were the author's intentions? And I think the author's intentions was to tell a fantastical story that incorporated OCD and showing mental health and doing that in a way that is both interesting and unique with characters that you can either relate to or learn to care about, right? And if those were her intentions, she succeeded in those intentions.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And I think it's also, in addition to that, having this kind of gothic, spooky setting with surprising what you would imagine the worst type of haunted mansion could be.
Yeah.
She achieved that.
Yeah. Again, I thought it was all cutesy. I wasn't like, this is a terrifying haunted mansion. I did not get creepy goth. Like, I got like nervous and anxious, a little anxious for like One Dark Window. You know, there'd be scenes where I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is cute.
No, I feel the same.
Yeah, but like, it is funny. I know. I highly doubt that you were anxious and nervous at any point of this book. We are both weathered souls that have. I worry that we have gone too far and now we have desensitized ourselves. Again, we did go from alchemized to an ember and ashes to this. So my desensitized, I was severely desensitized to this like creepy gothic vibes because I was like, this is just nice.
Yeah, this is cute.
Yeah, it's all cutesy. I just imagine it to be purple and pretty.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I know because of the cover, but it's...
Well, this cover's red.
Yeah, the sister cover is purple, but like, you know, it's just cute. It's just cute. So yeah, if you want to read a book for the vibes, but it's a book that has vibes with some purpose and intention behind it, I think this is a great one.
And like Erin said, the spice is nice. I enjoyed the spice.
Yeah, he ate her out.
It was a good time.
It was good. I had fun. And on that note, we're going to sign off.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy. Stick around for a special episode this Thursday. Next week, we'll be discussing An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir.
If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps other readers find us. And of course, we'd love to hear what you thought of today's episode. Share your comments through our form at booktalkforbooktalk.com, and we might feature your feedback in a future mini episode or in a Patreon exclusive episode, like this one.
For merch and more ways to support the show, head to booktalkforbooktalk.com. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the handle BookTalk for BookTalk. And don't forget to join us by subscribing to the Subtext Society Journal.substack.com to get more insights into the romantasy and romance world. Bye. One of the things that was really hard to learn about banking as a young 20-something was how to avoid overdraft fees and building enough credit to actually have a credit card. There are so many ways Chime is making banking stress-free. They don't charge you fees for banking with them, and they provide you overdraft coverage. And on top of that, you can build credit without the worry about a regular credit card.
There's a reason why Chime is rated 5 stars by USA Today for customer service, because they offer real humans 24/7. I can't tell you the amount of times I have called my bank crying because I cannot stop talking to the robot who cannot help me.
I personally feel like every 20-something-year-old out there needs a Chime card. It's a great way to build credit history with your own money that you're actually earning, and you get rewarded every day.
And for those of us who might not be 20-something, Still highly recommend it because of the no annual fees, no interest, no strings attached. And when you qualify for direct deposits, you get 1.5% cash back on eligible Chime card purchases. That's good for anyone.
It's good for everyone.
Chime is not just smarter banking. It is the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today.
It just takes a few minutes to sign up. Head to chime.com/booktalk, BookTalk.
That's chime.com/booktalk.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services, a secured Chime Visa credit card, and MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. MyPay eligibility requirements apply, and credit limit ranges $20 to $500. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. See chime.com/fees info. Advertised annual percentage yield with Chime Plus status only. Otherwise, 1.00% APY applies. No min balance required. Chime card on-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. See chime.com for details and applicable terms.
I firmly believe in new year, new me, and that requires a wardrobe change.
It's actually cold in California. I am so excited because Quince has all of our staples covered. From soft Mongolian cashmere sweaters that feel like designer pieces without the markup, to 100% silk tops and skirts for easy dressing up, to perfectly cut denims for everyday wear.
I purposefully gave my partner my wool coat so I can get a Quince Italian wool coat because they are gorgeous. They're beautifully tailored, they're soft to the touch, and they're built to last years, not just one season.
That's because the quality shows in every detail. You can seriously tell with the stitch, with the fit, with the fabric. Every piece is thoughtfully designed.
Like everything from Quince, each piece is made with premium materials in ethical, trusted factories, which I love. Each piece is priced far below the cost of other luxury brands.
Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/booktalk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, to get free shipping and 365 days returns.